Oh, I got very loud, didn't it? How's it going, guys? Howdy hand. It's cracking. Alrighty. Just a minute. Documents. So, I'm gonna go through the timelines, the overview for this arc. I'm not gonna go through our group's document yet, just because I don't want to give spoilers. What I'll probably do is do it before Saturday's stream. I think Saturday, right? Hey, Soja. Was it start tomorrow? It does start tomorrow. We're just getting a little head start because the way it worked last time was we had that little like prep time, the sort of OOC prep time before we started role playing. I think we're doing the same this time. So I obviously can't stream that bit. I don't want to stream that bit. So we'll just be starting as soon as the roleplay starts. So I won't have time to go through all of this. Unless I do like a separate stream before that, and that just seems like a fucking hassle. So I figured we'd do it today. And there's going to be a nice little chunk of info there just to kind of refresh ourselves, refresh me as well. Because I read these as they come out, but I've not kind of gone over them again for like a week or two. So I kind of wanted to have like another read through and see what we got. So yeah, so we've got the main timeline, we've got Arc 2's timeline. I said there is a document for our group, an info on what our group is. I don't want to really cover that yet. I was thinking about it, but I figure if I do it this way, where I do everything else, we can have tomorrow's intro session. We can talk about it a bit during stream, in between roleplay, and then before the real start with the caravan on Saturday when we can like roam and everything. We can do it before that one. In theory. That's the plan anyway. I don't know if it'll work out. We'll get through it at some point. But I just don't want to drop too much info on that group before we're even on the server, just because people might not want to know. They might not be able to resist knowing. So, it's not too loud. Let me know if music volume's too loud. I've been trying to tweak things, but I was testing volume on DayZ earlier, and it seemed because I had this enhancement thing, it was like it was trying to level everything out. So as soon as something loud happened, all the sound dropped out and it just fucking went quiet. But it's because I had it on multiple devices rather than just my main playback device, which doesn't seem to have that problem. But we'll see. We'll try and figure out. I don't know why it went so suddenly quiet on my stream output the other day. It's very strange, but we'll see. Hey, Selector, how's it going, man? Alright, so we should have desktop. Beautiful. So we got the global timeline, which is kind of chunky, also kind of quick, and then we've got the Arc 2, which is quite a lot more chunky. There's more pages than it really. There's pages than it looks like, just because where I split it up. Because it's posted on Discord, I just wanted an easier way to reference it. And as we go through this one, for Arc 2, we'll go over the map as well, which I should have. Yeah, wonderful. Ominous. But yeah, so we'll come back to that. Alright, beautiful. So this should, I think this is the same one we sort of know bits of from season 1, but there is more information on this about Chiemsee and stuff that happened, and there's a bit in here about Melkart, so it sort of expands on things we already kind of knew. Obviously season 1 has happened at this point. I think we are starting roughly the same sort of day. I think it's January, I want to say 12th or 13th in game when it actually starts. I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure it out. I think it says somewhere in one of these actually. So this takes up to December. I think this one might say it. It just says January. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got a day. Actually, that might be on the other one. Let's see quickly. I won't load it in here, but so I do want to go through our groups one at some point, but yeah, January 13th is where our groups one kind of wraps up. So I'm guessing that's our start date in game. And then, as before, it's going to be, I believe, 3 days per session. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how it's all working out. I was a little bit confused as to like timeline and server openness, but we'll figure it out. Now, events are open Friday and Saturday, but I think we have access on Sunday. Like free play? I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as time goes. But yeah, so global timeline, compiled survivor record. Sources include emergency broadcasts, eyewitness testimony, and recovered KSM internal documents. Be aware of what information your character would realistically have access to. If it's uncertain whether they would know something, assume they do not. Open tickets with suggestions. So there is also obviously stuff that happened on Melkart. Is stuff I know about, but my character will not know, because I am playing Edgar Crane this time around. Not Elias. Elias dead. Elias dead. So yeah, it's gonna be really interested to see where things go. Except for you guys, Michael and taking on a lot this round this season. Lots around the season. Yeah, it's I think they said they got 3 groups, right? Kind of running this time. Kind of not including Melkart's group, I guess. So, but Melkart's kind of getting rolled into one of the groups, which you will talk about, because that's like a thing we do kind of know about. We've got a broadcast as well, which I'll play today, and then we'll play again at some point. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. I'm sure I didn't have another one I'd missed out on. And I'll play the teaser at some point as well. I'm sure I still have the teaser for Arc 1 or not. I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm hyped for it. I'm very excited. Hey Shadow, how's it going, man? Made it, no worries. I say this is just primer, so there's no gameplay. We will float around the map a bit just so you guys can see it. I've got it in snow mode. I was gonna go through it non-snowy, like that's how I kind of looked at the map initially. I don't want to get too familiar with anything. So yeah, last 2 broadcasts should be out for full server open tomorrow. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. So key to information reliability. Confirmed broadcast, verified emergency or government transmission, KSM internal records, restricted documentation, eyewitness accounts, survivor testimony, public perception, common belief not always factual, unverified rumoured information not fully confirmed. So, faction overview, public knowledge, KSM, Commando Spezialkraft der Marine. An emergency stabilization force formed in Germany during the early outbreak. Originally Special Operations Unit of the German Navy, specialised in commando and amphibious warfare operations, KSM gradually assumed military and civil authority as governments collapsed. Public trust in KSM varies from gratitude to deep resentment. Public perception. I've just been saving up to replace my CPU. You got to come up with 75 more and I'll have sweet. Sweet. Fucking a rough time to have to buy a new graphics card, don't it? Observed infection traits as of December 2025. Compiled medical and field reports. Incubation period vary wildly. 4 days to 4 weeks. So I know we have the in-game infection system now. So I'm not sure how much time this is going. I imagine it's probably set up to be roughly this. So some people will turn quicker than others, but it's all in game now. We don't have to dice roll or anything. It's just gonna happen. It happens kind of thing. So yeah, attacks can get you infected. Treatment, I mean, you know, you might get lucky. Maybe other meds will help, or at least stave it off. Otherwise, you know, I hope you find a cure, right? Still can't believe mine already died, but it got overheated. Still another fan too. Nice. What card did you have before, and what you get? And do you know what you're going for yet? Delayed transformation has caused multiple safe zone failures. Cold temperatures reduce infected speed, but significantly increase physical strength. No confirmed cure or immunity. Let's see, we know that's kind of different. That's milk art knowledge. But yeah, so we've got zombies that don't run basically now. They are slow, but I guess because they're frozen. Yeah, harder. The 1080, I believe, getting 40 something. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I've got a 3080, I think. Bought it when they was new. It's doing just fine. So hoping I don't have to upgrade it anytime soon. Yeah, I did have a 2070 before. I mean, I was buying this PC. I wasn't going to get a graphics card because they were so kind of expensive and hard to get at the time. But the people I bought my pre-made PC through didn't offer a no graphics card version, which is funny now because now they do. Yeah, so I just never bothered to get rid of it. It's like my backup if shit goes south with this one. I'm just gonna roll back for a bit and hope the PC can kind of make up the difference, you know. Until I can afford something, but that would be a long time. So timeline, starting from ground zero of the infection. September 9th, 2025 outbreak. Confirmed broadcast. The second major infection cluster emerges in Syria. Unlike Egypt, containment efforts fail within days, marked by uncontrolled global spread. So we know from season 1 how the outbreak started with the finding of a tomb, bit of a old school mummy's curse kind of shit. Which I like, 'cause it's a very different kind of outbreak source. Everything else, you know, it's not just lab cancer cure kind of thing, which is kind of, I think, the most common go-to these days. I mean, back when we had it for TLC, it was really kind of groundbreaking, having some like background lore. But now every server's done some sort of variation of that, you know. Since those things, you buy something there, start outbreak equipment, 100%, man. It's always a battle. September 10th, although saying that, we are going to stall for a bit now with this fucking AI bullshit. Like, I reckon we're going to kind of plateau for a little bit until that shit kind of folds on itself. Fucking stupid. I saw Nvidia came out the other day with like, oh, we've made AI that will play games for you. It's like, are you fucking, like, stop wasting my time. Get the fuck out. September 10th, 2025, confirmed broadcast. Infection overruns Arabia and Iran. September 11th, 2025, confirmed broadcast. Eyewitness accounts. Infection spreads across Africa and Asia. First confirmed cases reported in Europe. Germany issues a nationwide emergency broadcast. Panic buying, violent outbreaks accelerate transmission in Chiemsee, Bavaria, Lake Chiemsee region. So that's where we are. Pardon me. September 12th, 2025. Confirmed broadcast. Infection confirmed in Australia and Canada. September 13th, 2025. Confirmed broadcast. Widespread infection reported across North America. September 14th, 2025. Confirmed broadcast. Eyewitness accounts. South America report continent-wide infection. Civil order further deteriorates in Chiemsee. September 9th, 14th, 2025. The Global Cascade event. Post-event classification. All major continents report uncontrolled infection within 5 days. Marks the effective end of coordinated international response. Collapse of civil infrastructure. September 18th, 2025, week 2. Confirmed broadcast, eyewitness accounts. Hereninsel. I'm not sure quite how to say that in German.
But it's one.
YouTube.
Herreninsel.
Herreninsel. Okay. Yeah, my German is not up to snuff these days. It's been a long time. I studied at school. I wasn't great. Got a D though. I passed. It was enough. I didn't study. Thought I was gonna fail. I was like, can I just drop it? And my year shoot was like, no, but you can just not study for it and just do maths instead. And I was like, okay. So Herreninsel, island on Lake Chiemsee, Bavaria, is designated a civilian safe haven. So I'll show you the map. That will help. Now this is obviously the normal map. Shake things up so I can actually fucking see. There we go. So, just about. Can I make them bigger? No. Alright. Oh, that's bad. Alright, Nugget. How you doing, man? Hey, Zymo. Good to see you, dude. Bring this bad boy over. So this is Chiemsee. So it's quite a big map. It's got a lot of room. It's very well put together, honestly. And this is Herreninsel. Is an RP going to open up to other players via whitelist messaging? I'm not sure quite what the score is right now, because it's such a led kind of system. I know that the original intention was there was only going to be like 5-10 more people coming in this season, or this arc. But it's ended up being probably like double, not triple that. I think there's like 20 new people-ish. There's about 40 people playing this time around, whereas there's like 20 last time. And there's 3 groups. I think the admins are kind of seeing how things fly and how things play out. And just kind of growing and growing kind of thing. But Leanne might be able to tell you more if she's listening. But yeah, so this is Herreninsel. Now, I don't know how much of what you like see on the map here and what we'll see in the in-game map will actually be there, because obviously they do map edits and stuff. Some shit will get wiped, some shit will get changed, some shit will get added to. But yeah, so that's that bit anyway. So yeah, Herreninsel Island on Lake Chiemsee, Bavaria is designated civilian safe haven. KSM alert issued September 18th. Yeah, happy New Year, guys. I hope you're all having a lovely start to it. I hope it's been okay to you. Mass civilian movement toward the mainland bridge begins. The bridge checkpoint collapses into violence. Many die attempting to cross. Herreninsel becomes a symbol of survival and betrayal, public perception. Survivors remember screams heard across the lake at night. Right, so... where am I? I'm not great at using this editor, so like... I'm sure there's quicker ways to get around, but you'll just have to bear with me. Just fine. Alright, so this is the bridge. And then you've got little towny area. Obviously this is all rubble. I say I don't know what it's gonna be like on the server. And then there's this big fuck off mansion complex, which is kinda cool. I imagine this is like pure custom for the map. Just open. Fucking chilly, right? No windows. Yes, I don't know like how much this is gonna be in the main thing. Yeah, so that's Herreninsel, the island. So they're probably gonna see some pretty different terrain if we ever get there. Got into the edge state. Oh, good shout, man. I've been loving that game. Really cool. I found this session. There's a boat out here somewhere. I really liked it. There it is. Yo, boat. It's cool though. For sure. Alright. So yeah, so you got a nice little bridge of shit. Now, some of you might have heard, we don't have loot in the classic sense on this map. The loot table is disabled and everything has been hand placed, so shit's gonna be real fucking scarce and hard to find. We have very much to learn and to grow before we ever did anything open or whitelisting. As we see right now, we want to take the lessons we have learned to small scale one shots and take a while before we open another campaign. This is kind of us testing with this amount of people and style of game running. So really that answer is opening and straight answer, but most likely no. Yeah, it's just a matter of like, got to kind of see how things play and what works, what doesn't. Like, obviously we learn from Arc 1, kind of learn from Arc 2. And then as people get invites and stuff and it grows, if it can grow, it's interesting. Looking at this and thinking about the weather mods and stuff, just to sing on my head when the weather outside is frightful but the forest is low. And since there's no place to go, it's nice. So. Yeah, we've got a blizzard mod as well. It should be really interesting. So there's two main mods that we were talking about. And the main one being the blizzard, and then we've got the warmth one. What's it called? Yeah. It's somewhere. So there's WMGSM Snow Blizzard, which also includes like a frostbite thing, and then we've got building warmth, which will help us warm up. We'll go through the mods over in a little bit. Yeah, so bridge checkpoint collapses into violence. Herreninsel becomes a symbol of survival and betrayal, public perception. So I always remember screams heard across the lake. So this is mid-September, mid to late. September 25 to 30. Week 3, eyewitness accounts. Late transformations, overwhelmed survivor camps. Entire towns still silent without signs of struggle. Power grid and long-range communications fail completely. Players may encounter intact settlements occupied only by infected. September 28, 2025, confirmed broadcast. North American federal government and major cities fall. October 1st, 2025, governmental breakdown, confirmed broadcast. The United States Quarantine Act USQA is enacted. No further confirmed federal transmissions follow. So the USQA was who we were with in season 1. But obviously we never really got closure on that because we finished a week early and we didn't really follow up on a lot of things. We kind of lost that trail, that thread in season 1. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where that's gonna go season 2 or arc 2. I keep calling it seasons, but I guess this is all a season, like with several arcs within the season. It's probably the better way to do it. But we were calling it season 2 before, so it's kind of stuck in my head, not rather than arc. So excuse me if I interchange the two. So October 1st, 2025, Chiemsee declared lost. KSM final broadcast. The bridge to the Herod Insel is permanently closed. Estimated pre-outbreak population around 1,800. Survivor count unknown. KSM assumes full control of Herod Insel. Strict rationing, labour assignments and curfews enforced. KSM internal records. Fires burn on the mainland. Radios remain silent. It's the last confirmed regional broadcast. So this is into the Arc 1 stuff now. November 1st, 2025, Melkart incident, eyewitness accounts. A boat capsizes near Melkart, initiating the first campaign. Obviously, this is probably stuff we have no idea about. All this other stuff, our character was present in Chiemsee for. I'll talk a bit about the character in a little bit. But yeah, so Melkart, complete, like, no idea anything about that with my new character. Boat capsizes near Melkart, initiating the first campaign. Civilian unrest escalates. A boat theft and leaves both civilians and KSM personnel dead. KSM records. Fraueninsel, smaller lake island on Lake Chiemsee, is cleared of infection and repurposed. Non-essential civilians are relocated to reduce unrest. Trust between KSM and civilian fractures further. So Fraueninsel is this other map, other island. This one here. So you got your mainland, you got your bridge, which is now closed. You've got Herodinsel, which is basically a refugee island at this point. And then they've moved people to Fraueninsel. Now we'll go over more about what that's about with the other document. Kind of covers that, why it happened and things. And again, I don't know how much of what we see is gonna be there. Should be over. I've got the wrong, haven't I? So that's the little island. So this is Fraueninsel. So as you can see, it's a lot of rubble, but you got some camp stuff. But yeah, some of this is probably going to be changed up a bit more suitable for population, I guess. But there's some nice bit of town over here. That's fucky. Oh, now there are these little ships. I imagine these will probably get removed. They're not usable, obviously. But let's see. Yeah, some really nice detailing on these maps. I'll show you some of the cities in a little bit. They're really nicely done. They actually have things that I like the most, which is wrecked fucking cities. It's amazing. There's one. So eyewitness accounts. Yeah, so they moved them. December 2025 winter phase. Early December 2025. KSM internal records. KSM launches its first mainland outreach mission to previously scouted checkpoint. A team returns after 2 days with limited supplies. Partially functional transmitters recovered. Winter conditions slow infected movement but increased physical force. Food supplies remain stable under strict rationing. Medical care collapses due to lack of advanced pharmaceuticals. The secondary recon team sent to retrieve medical supplies disappears. December 5th, 2025. Navigation logs. The Melkart vessel departed the island, heading towards Chiemsee, Germany. So that was the last session we had. December 8th, 2025. Confirmed radio log. The first radio contact established between KSM and Melkart using the repaired transmitter. Human voices are heard for the first time since September. Confirmed organised survivors still exist beyond the lake. So I'm not sure how our group is dealing with this. But we were meant to get a bit more info from sort of the people heading up our group, and they've been kind of quiet, so I'm not quite sure what's happening with that. We were meant to have a meeting at one point. I overslept, missed the meeting, but it turns out like a bunch of people didn't show up, so I'm not quite sure. But basically we were trying to discuss how our group formed and moved from where they started to where they end up. But I say I don't quite know what the deal with that is. So that's probably something we're going to go over tomorrow in the OC stuff, maybe. Just kind of leaving a bit late, sadly. I was hoping we'd be a bit more established as a group before then, but you know, life happens. December is a busy fucking time, so I don't hold it against anyone. But yeah, so we'll figure that out. But basically, I just don't know if we've heard the message or not. I'm assuming we have. I will play that for you guys in a little bit. So December 9th, 2025, KSM internal orders. A convoy is dispatched to Bibione Beach, Italy to retrieve contact sites. So that's where they've landed. So part of my reasoning originally of not getting on the boat was Alright, so if we look at an actual real map. Get the fucking page out. There you go. So we were somewhere in Greece, right? It was some like a little island off Greece. So, you know, there's fucking millions of them. Could be anywhere. And we were told we're going to Germany. So we were like, well, how are we getting there? And the route that I was told in character was through Gibraltar Strait, all around up here, and then either sailing up to the German coast or coming through like Belgium, Netherlands or France into Germany, right? Because Chiemsee's like down here somewhere, right? But that is not what happened, apparently. They have gone, and I'm guessing they could come up here somewhere. I don't read, what did they say? Bibione Beach, Italy. So yeah, that's where that is. So yeah, so that is here. So they've come all the way up here and landed here, and then I guess they're crossing the fucking crossing these fucking mountains. Which is a hell of a route, but okay. And then come into here. I can't remember where Chiemsee is. Oh, yeah, there it is. So yeah, so not too bad really. But yeah, through the absences, I guess you could go around. But yeah, I don't know. If I'd known that, I don't know if I'd have risked getting on that boat. You know, like. But that's a hell of a less journey to be needing to sort of stave off infection. And very, like I say, that's a very different route to. Because that's weeks of sailing. This is less. But hey, you know, we use the information we fucking were aware of. That's the choice we made. So, it's what it is. On your side, you only heard the KSM talking. You know they're moving, but you don't know why, what for. It's up to you how your character interrupts just their side of the convo. Interprets. That's right. So yeah, convoy reaches Bibione Beach. Melkart sides are recovered successfully. Delayed departure 1 day for refueling, supply scavenging. December 16th, 2025, KSM movement logs. Convoy returns to Chiemsee with Melkart survivors. Chiemsee. So, yeah, this is where I'm a little confused as to start dates. Like, Leonie, again, I think we're getting more information tomorrow. Just because the dates and times and things were a little bit confusing to me. So, yeah. We'll figure that out, yes. Melkart size got picked up, yeah. And then I think they're doing the caravan event, I think it's called, on Saturday, which is when Melkart players come into the server. But we get Friday, which is like a little starter bit of RP. So I will be streaming it, but there might be some OOC moments. We'll try and. I'm hoping we're going to get, let's say, a little OOC start up bit, and then, like last time, RP starts from here. You know, our thing last time was like, we're going to knock you out. When you wake up, that's when roleplay starts. And so that was when I hit broadcast, when we got blacked out, started streaming, and then you guys kind of. So, or rather, I think I had stream starting soon. And then, like I was kind of waiting for that moment because we got like a warning, so I didn't have the things. But again, we might have issues with pre-roll ads and shit like that because it's roleplay. It's just kind of I can't really work around it, you know. We just kind of figure it out. But yeah, so December 19 to 21, start of Arc 2 Session 0, out of character reference. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what that means. December 22nd, 2025, confirmed arrival log. Melkart survivors arrive at Chiemsee, Germany. World status summary, December 22nd, 2025. No confirmed national governments remain operational. Long-range communication is extremely rare. Chiemsee is one of the last known organised settlements in Central Europe. KSM maintains control, but civilian trust is unstable. Infection continues to evolve under wind conditions. Same kind of thing, but it'll be very long in this time. Before starting, yeah, there's a lot more moving parts and groups to organise, rather than just like one big bunch. There's each of us. So yeah, we'll just, you know, there's no rush. And then once we're on, it's a kind of internal only roleplay, so like we'll have a limited area with which we can travel. Basically staying in our starter towns, as it were. Role playing as the group. I think we kind of agreed that it was kind of going to be like a town meeting for us, like establishing what we've got, where we're going, what we're doing, what our goals are, what our short-term, long-term things are, that kind of thing. But again, we were going to have meetings and documents to talk about this, but they never got produced, so I don't quite know what's going on. We'll just fucking ride it out, see what happens. Now, this is a lot more dense information, covering the months for Chiemsee in general, but focusing on KSM, which is the stuff on the main line. Now, my character is not there, so I'm not going to know all of this. But we're just going to go through it just so you guys got it and say we're going to pretty... I don't know. Yeah, no, I think we'll leave off our group's document until, yeah, probably Saturday. We'll see. But overview, the infection did not sweep across the world in chaotic rush. It advanced with the precision of a calculated atrocity. In the early days, it resembled nothing more than aggressive seasonal illness, fevers, coughing, exhaustion. Authorities urged residents to quarantine to avoid contact with anyone outside of a secure environment. Life does not pause easily. People still need to go to work, to gather food, to care for families. Because the spread was subtle rather than explosive, designed to only tell what was necessary, few recognised the danger until escape was no longer possible. Chiemsee, Germany was struck with on September 10th. The infection arrived from opposite ends of the region, converging like a pincer attack. The first to fall were torn apart in the streets, their bodies reanimating almost instantly. These turned, moved with terrifying speed, driven by an animal ferocity that left little time to react. Those who were merely wounded seemed stable at first, a false hope. Their transformation came slower, lulling survivors into believing the worst could be contained. In the first week, the government declared a lockdown, but the population was unprepared for such a mandate. Shelves emptied as panic seized towns around the lake. Strangers fought for basic necessities. In chaos, many were injured. Those same wounds becoming silent invitations for the sickness to take hold. Violence spread through the villages as quickly as the sickness. By the end of the second week, just before the collapse of Germany's major cities, authorities designated Herrenensor a safe haven, sanctuary, a place equipped with supplies and fortifications, strong enough to resist the infected, at least in theory. Yet reaching the island proved far more deadly than remaining home. Families abandoned their houses, attempting the trek to the docks, only to find themselves battling not just the infected, but also the desperation of other survivors. The checkpoint on the bridge evolved into a war zone. The ground was littered with bodies, victims not of the undead, but of human greed and fear. Now it talks about docks. See, there's a couple sort of like dock towns and stuff. So I don't know if they're gonna have this way much bearing on stories, characters, groups, and things like that. But I guess that shit we'll figure out, you know. That's it. So yeah, so like there's a couple little sort of dock town areas. They are kind of flooded, which is interesting. So I'm not quite sure how that affects things. But you can see shit kind of went down. Not sure what other dock towns there are as such down here. I know there's a couple up here. Like that one. It's like more of a town dock. I think that's the other one. Up there. With a bigger dock area. Yeah, so I'd imagine some of the dock towns. That's a nice little thing I saw this other day. Some really nice little map making touches in this map. I'll show you some other bits I like on set. So much further to go. So much further away than I thought it was. I lowered the camera movement speed the other day. Yeah, it's a lot of little, like, tucked away bits and bobs, some interesting little environment things, tunnels and shit. The only sad thing, because it's a modified snow map, the fake ground isn't snowy. It's like, there's not much you can do about that. That's the nature of a faked, not faked, but like a modded map that's not intrinsically designed. I was a bit confused as to why the trees are green. The snow on the trees is green. Like it's an odd one. Like they're not just the snowy trees. It's not Sakal's trees swapped in place. They're texture swapped stuff. But they're done better than they used to be. Like it used to be like it just looked normal from far away, and then shit would pop in. Like obviously it does have that pop in effect, but maybe it's to make it lesser. Like the way they used to be go from that to like suddenly white when you got near them. So having them sort of a bit of a green tint is kind of a minimizing factor of the texture pop in. Just because of how the winter mods work. Yeah, and then there's this little dock town. I'm guessing this is sort of the docks they're talking about. Oh yeah, no, it's not that. I'm saying the snow's green, like, not that the trees are still green. I know they're evergreens. I know they're pine trees and shit. But I'm saying that the snow on the trees is green. You see what I mean? Like it's not. They're not. It's like they're not the normal trees. But it's like I think it's because of the pop-in. Like back when Winter Generation, the first version, came out, like trees would literally go white when you came near them. I just point it out because it's the thing. That's what they are. But like you don't notice that. Like I was just floating around and I was like, oh, that's fucking strange. But I say I think it's just a minimizing factor for that pop in, because otherwise it looks so fucking stupid. Or you just have green fucking trees. Maybe you'll see this. You'll get used to it. You'll be too fucking busy, mate. You're going, yeah, you need to worry about it. Right at the top. So yeah, so this is a really nice touch. So they've walled off the edge of the map. Map makers have, which is kind of a nice thing. So they've got this like canal edge, which is kind of cool. Like they've not done it all around the map, which doesn't really propose. It's a nice way of like hiding this map. But it's also where the map extends, it uses the default texture, which is obviously grass. Just because the way maps are put together. I think it's always a shame now, especially, that map makers aren't going back in and kind of redoing things with winter assets, but I get why they don't. But like I've done it before with a map. We did for Invasion 44. We did a summer and a winter version of the same map. Just so, you know, we could reuse it, create some more content. It works really well. Thin extra people, sorry for entries, for expensive impact Canada. My opponents makes sense blinding. If it's white and it would hurt your eyes after a while, someone who stares while day. Believe that's right. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's it. It's like you don't, you know, it's like you're running around. It's not really a fucking issue. It's just something I noticed. I was like, oh, it's interesting. And I think it is literally like, so I don't think it's an error. I think it's a deliberate design choice for that texture pop in. You know? It's a bit more subtle, like it's just the light's just catching it rather than it's fucking swapping the texture out. Yeah, like there's some really nice little bits, like, you know, just put some good effort into the map on Chiemsee. It's really cool design. But I'm trying to get to a town in particular. Where's this one? This one? No. Where is it? I thought it was one of the northern ones. I can past it. Let's do a chat. Oh, I should go straight east. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's a deliberate choice for the snow mods, because the way I'd say this isn't, the map is not made this way. It is a texture replacement override, basically. So the way it used to work, you just had a huge sort of change of texture. Yeah, there's then some really nice stuff in the town. This sort of shit I fucking love. Like, we had a town like this in Red Zone. But obviously it was a custom added map, map edit. So it had some issues. But this is custom. And you probably can run up this. It's very interesting for getting into the roof and shit. Yeah, quite a cleverly hidden doorway there, so you can't get back into this. But yeah, really nice fucking wrecked city vibe to this whole bit. It's pretty wild. Shed skills, things like that, but no. I mean, honestly, it's practice, and I think with something like DayZ, it's not really, you're not creating any assets, you are utilizing assets. So unless you're adding custom buildings, you know, you just got a library of stuff, and then it's just utilizing it in the right way. The problem with DayZ is making roads, honestly. Like I talked about before, but like, it's hard to explain how shit the road building system is in DayZ unless you've done terrain editing. And it's so shit. And it's what stalls a lot of map makers and stops a lot of people making maps in the first place. They're a fucking pain in the ass. They're horrible to do. It's one of the first things you have to do as well. It's not very easy to add stuff to them. And it's just fucking slow. And it doesn't need to be. Like, their in-game tools, even when they were making DayZ and Arma 2, it's literally painting a fucking road. Boop, 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 boop. And it just, boop, there you go. But, for whatever fucking reason, when they made the community tools, they decided they weren't going to give people those tools. So they made different tools for the community to use. And for some reason, half-assed the road building, and it's the dumbest decision they ever made, because if it wasn't for that, there would be a billion more maps. Like, I know so many people have just fucking given up because it's like, fuck roads, man. And they've done an amazing job with them here. It's like, it's some really nice work, and like, just say, everything on this map is really well put together. Yeah. Anyway. Back to it. So yeah, something about docks. Where do we get to? Around here, wasn't it? Yeah, docks. Those stationed on Heron Insul were not wholly to blame, yet bitterness spread among people who never made it across the bridge. So then the island became a symbol of betrayal, the villain that grief demanded. Week 3 marked the turning point. The majority of the sick finally succumbed, transforming in waves that dismantled what remained of organised resistance. Survivor camps collapsed, town after town fell silent as infected swarmed through the open streets. As if to seal Chiemsee's fate, the power grid failed, communications died, phones went dark, electricity vanished, a complete blackout. By week 4, October 1st, the bridge to Heron Insul was officially closed. It was the day Chiemsee was declared lost. 18,000 residents once lived around the lake. No one knows how many are left, or how many now roam as part of the horde. Fires likely burn unchecked. Entire districts may already be ash. For those still alive, survival has become a race against time. Long, merciless months ahead will not be not forgive the unprepared. Yeah, right. Because I don't use Google Docs often. And I honestly have no idea how to change it. So that's what you deal with. Right. We've got ads coming now. I think we'll take a little break. Not those rental. So we'll take a little break while the ads run, because I know some of you guys haven't got it. Got the old subs, so we'll just let that play. But all natter in the background. Bits. Yeah, like I do want to talk about like our group a bit, but say there are some spoilers there, and I don't want to put it in people's minds, because I know what I'm like with kind of meta information. It's like, if you know something is somewhere, it's like you have to find a valid reason to go, right? And if I know something's somewhere, I will like fight any reasoning to go there, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to. It used to be really fucking good. So I say I don't really want someone from one of the other groups to know really where we are. It's just to then be like, oh, you know, maybe I should go to this town, you know. It just, yeah, it's a little thing. But then once you started streaming, like, there's no point hiding it, because people will know, kind of thing. But I don't want to like tarnish that first little bit. So we'll probably do our document on Saturday before we get into the server proper, because we'll have a start time and stuff. So we'll do it. So it should work. It's like ads with a passion, but understand why they're there. I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess. I mean, Twitch is earning fucking billions, right? Taking their cuts of the actual billionaire streamers. Like, do you really need ads on small streams? Really? Like, it's like, sure, I earn from it, but I mean, let's face it, I don't earn much from it. For what I get, for what it does to my stream, it's like, doesn't really fucking help, does it? It's more, it's basically encouraging people to subscribe, because then they don't have to watch adverts, right? That's kind of the thing. But I mean, how much have I earned this pay period? £2.41. $2.41, so like a pound. Like £1.50. And for some reason my fucking tax program's fucked at the moment, so they're taxing me like 30%. It's like, it says my tax is sorted, but it is taxing me 30% when it shouldn't be. Yeah, $3 a month. Yeah, so I think like my last big earn. Find it. I got $7.69. Which is about £5.70. Yeah, I mean, you do earn from Turbo users as well, which is great. So like, rather, because I don't get your ad revenue, Twitch pays me for it. But again, it's like, it's encouraging users to pay, to not have to deal with it. And it's like I say, they're earning so much from their massive cut from, you know, big people like XQC and whatever. Do you really need that fucking ad revenue? How much more are they making from the ads they sell, you know? Well, no, it costs Twitch more to run a 1080 stream for a small stream. Yeah, sure, but let's face it, they could still fucking make bank. They're not struggling. Alright, let's get this back on track. There we go. So month 1 October, the hollow silence. After the bridge closed, the strained quiet settled over Chiemsee.
Yeah, nice one, brother.
Shit.
Oh, nice one, brother. Nice one, brother. Nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv. Nice one, brother. I said, nice,
Nice,
bruv.
bruv.
Fucking nice
Nice
one, brother.
one,
Nice one, bruv. Brother. Fuck
Centerpools, thank you so much,
yeah,
dude.
nice one, bruv, yeah.
Checking out
Oh,
5
nice
gifted
one,
subs
nice
there.
one, brother. Nice one, brother. I said,
Okay, guys.
nice, bruv. Nice one, brother.
Lucy Syndrome.
Nice, bruv. Fucking nice
Ashton's
one, brother. Nice one,
no
bruv.
MVD is Soja Grav 30.
Fuck off. Yeah, nice one, bruv, yeah.
We'll get some gifted subs
Nice
from
one,
Shadowpause.
brother.
So you can all skip ads like the rest of us.
Nice, bruv.
You're a legend, man.
Nice
Thanks so
one,
much,
brother.
Shadowpause. Appreciate it, dude.
Nice, bruv. Fucking nice one, brother. Nice one,
Nice one,
bruv.
bruv.
Brother. Fuck off. Yeah, nice one, bruv, yeah. Oh, nice one, brother. Nice one,
That's
brother. Nice one, brother. I said, nice, bruv. Nice one, brother. I said, nice, bruv. Fucking nice one, brother.
I'm just gonna turn down a bit so you don't have to listen to him ramble. Nice one, bruv. Nice one, brother. Thank you so much, dude. That really does mean the world. And I'm sure people appreciate it. So we're into month 1, October, the hollow silence. After the bridge closed, strained quiet settled over Chiemsee. Silence that felt less like peace and more like containment. The lake became both a separator and a warning sign, its still waters mirroring the charred outlines of the mainland. Now, I don't know if they've added in any ice banks. I don't think so. So like the lake is not really passable. There's no like what do you call them? Icebergs, right? So like on Sakar, you could kind of get places by walking across the ice, but obviously we just have very cold, very deadly water. So the only way to Herodinzil is via the bridge. It's one singular bridge. So it should be quite easy to guard as a location. I'm not sure how many people they've got and obviously how they're going to be organising themselves. But I mean, it would make sense to have, you know, an outpost, little guard post set up. Obviously, we're going to have some map edits as well, so they might even have a little building for cover and stuff. I feel like they're going to be very cold. But they can, you know, hold down the bridge pretty well. The railway bridge is down. And I guess you could drop into the water and swim it, but it's dangerous. But there's no real other way. Like, yeah, you might be able to survive that swim. Or that one. This one, probably not. Like, cold saps your fucking temperature so quick. So, maybe. Yeah, generally, you pretty much lock the sun down by holding this bridge. So, I believe that's you know, holding true for the lore of it. From Herodinzil, survivors could still hear the occasional scream carried across the night air, cut off before anyone could decide whether to mourn or be relieved. Those on the island understood quickly silence meant survival. The fires burning along the distant shore made it clear that whatever horrors raged beyond the water could have consumed them all. Come out with a couple of black toes and fingers, yeah. That's why Gangster 90s, yeah. I mean, there is a frostbite system, so, you know. but like you don't want to get more. I mean, I almost died on Sakal swimming. What was it? So what's the idea? So yeah, you guys can see my my descent map marker. I make notes, all right? I make notes. What of it? You trying to say? So, back when we were playing Sakal, there you are, soldier. There you are. Back when we were playing Sakal, I was curious, like obviously, what you could survive in the water. My first notice it's not too cold yet, right? So we were here. And so I slumped down to here thinking, well, this is a perfect little island to test how deadly swimming was, right? How is it? Make a good scuba boat. What we just got? Where is it? I can't even do it. I can't even show them. I can't even see them. It's hiding them from me. Yeah, that one. That's one we just got. So yeah, so I was like, I got the best clothing I could for thermal and water protection, which at the time was winter hunting gear, I believe. And I had like, I think I used like the NBC hood and things like that. So they were like dry, so bits of the body would stay dry. Just to see like how thing would affect me. So I swam across, got onto the ice here, then swam across, got on another ice, and got to this little island here. Took wood with me. There are no trees on this island, and a blizzard started when I got to about here. And I thought I might go back, but so I'm like here, and this is just DayZ Blizzard. This isn't even like modded Blizzard. So I'm like on here, can't make a fire because the wind just kept blowing it out. So I then had to cross over to this. I thought I was literally gonna die, and then so I ended up managing to get a fire started in a bush. Oh, and I had dry clothes as well. Sorry, and this was the thing. I had dry clothes to put on when I got across. But it dropped your temperature so much on Sakal when you go in the water that your health starts draining. So you got to kind of warm up, or you literally die from the cold. So it's not just a matter of being dry, you know. And like I say, you got a blizzard as well. So the clothes I put on then instantly get wet in the blizzard. So I managed to get a fire going. That saved my life. It was cool, like, you know, but that is a like 100-meter swim, something like that, I think. Or even that, probably. Yeah, it's 200, 300, yeah. So like 300 meters is like damn near deadly, right? And let's see, on this map, let's see, the quickest route. I mean, that one or that one. We'll say this one just because it's, you know, I wouldn't just do the bridge. So this is... Shortest route is like 500, almost 600 meters. Like that could, in the right circumstances, kill you. Like just swimming. Like not even anything else. Just kill you in the cold. So... anyone trying to swim is probably fucking dead. So I don't think you need to worry too much about it, Leo. Wish you could find that picture of me a couple of years ago. Snow in the background, snow boots on a bikini at the beach because my barracks mate had no out for a swim. Crazy fuckers. We used to go surfing in the North Sea. And we surfed through winter. We never stopped. and I only had a summer suit. It was a winter suit where I bought it. It was a winter suit in Australia, but it's 3.6 millimeters. Now, for reference, a winter suit in the UK is more like 5.4 millimeters. So I was fucking cold, even though it's like, oh, it's got like a fleecy line, so this is not helping. And then we had like full-on hoods that just leave your like face exposed, gloves, booties, and we went one time, and usually this little, it was so stormy. This usually was like maybe a couple centimeters stream that ran down the middle. That was like an outlet for the river. It's like there's nothing outlet. Was probably about 3 foot deep, and we had to wade through it to get to the other side of the beach to where we went in, because the way the current went, it led you towards the pier. So we'd go to the very end, paddle out, and it would push you away from the cliff towards the pier, so you could surf your way down. And it was so cold. It was snowing as we were going out, and we were like holding our balls on top of our head, just like wading through this water, and like, this is so fucking stupid, guys. What the fuck are we doing? You could be at home smoking weed, drinking tea. Fucking insane. I have a picture similar to that, except I'm bundled up inside a shack and have a fire going. Yes. I got ice fishing gear, but I'm the furthest north. Ice free port, so I never use it. I can't drink in a when you my son. So where were we? So yeah, here. Been on what the yes. KSM Commandos Specialkräfte. Specialkräfte. I don't know how you pronounce that. Specialkraft. So we're just gonna.
Spezialkräfte. Spezialkräfte.
Spezialkräfte.
Spezialkräfte. Spezialkräfte.
Spezial. Yeah, German has very specific letter sounds. Although it looks very English, like they're quite easy to spell, and they are kind of pronounced the way they are written. But it's getting a few certain letters and combinations of letters right, and you get the accent. And if you can do that, you can then do English and German accent really easily. I used to be able to do it all right, but not these days. That's been 20, 25 years. I can't understand like that much. Got me wrong with the snow nose. But yeah, so in case them to control the moment the gates close, not with sympathy but with precision. Now, as they impose strict ration schedules and mandatory rotation of several civilians standing. Their reasoning was simple. If their insult was to endure, chaos has to be crushed before it could grow. The exhausted and terrified population of the KSM's discipline felt more like a chokehold than protection. Despite the island's stockpiles, the food of desperate civilians had strained resources. The flood of desperate civilians had strained resources immediately. Fights broke out over food lines, over sleeping quarters, over rumours of who had been allowed access across the bridge and who hadn't. KSM responded with cold efficiency. They broke conflicts apart, issued orders without hesitation, and filled the island with new rules. Curfews, work assignments, enforced separation between civilian clusters. There was no illusion that these measures were kind. They were simply necessary in KSM's eyes. Patrols along the shoreline watched the mainland with grim consistency. The infected rarely ventured into the lake itself, but bodies still drifted in, bloated remnants of those who had attempted to flee. The corpses were dragged ashore and burned with methodical detachment. The thick smoke that rose over Heron Insel became a symbol of not only death, but of KSM's relentless maintenance of order. Inside the walls, leadership disputes erupted almost immediately. Civilians debated whether to push for evacuation to larger military zones or trust help would eventually arrive. Others argued that the world beyond the wall was already gone. The radios brought nothing but static, endless, indifferent static. It was during this time of fear that doubt that the KSM stepped forward with the first true initiative. They called for cooperation, not out of camaraderie, but out of strategy. Civilians were instructed to attend mandatory briefings where KSM outlined a long-term plan, controlled farming, Russian-based labour assignments, internal security teams trained by the unit, and strict documentation of every inhabitant. No one was allowed to be idle, every pair of hands had a purpose. To some, the structure offered stability, to others it felt like conscription under a different name. The message was unmistakable. If Herrenziel was to survive, it would be under KSM authority, not through kindness but through order. And in October, order was the only thing they could still cling to. Maybe if I ever want to make it to a place like that, but here in Oakland we get Mystery West. It's month 2, November. Fractures in Safe Haven. By November, the initial shock had calcified into something colder and more disciplined. Survival became a rigid routine shaped entirely by KSM. Morning patrols, ration distribution, sanitation checks, enforced labour schedules. Life continued, but only because it was kept on the rails that KSM refused to let anyone deviate from. The first major incident erupted when a desperate group attempted to steal an inflatable boat, intending to cross the lake and search missing relatives. KSM intercepted them before they pushed off from shore. Clash was brief, violent, and left 3 dead, 2 civilians and 1 KSM operative. Marked the moment the island's brittle trust snapped, the KSM's response was immediate and uncompromising. In the aftermath, the rumours surged like wildfires, whispers of hidden ration stashes, of secret leaders, civilians hoarding supplies under the noses of guards. Whether any of it was true mattered far less than destabilising effects the rumours had. Small factions formed overnight, dividing themselves into pockets of suspicion and fear. Arguments flared in mess lines during patrol rotations, even inside sleeping quarters. Every conversation seemed sharpened with distrust. KSM did not allow for these factions to grow. They moved in with the same calculated precision they had shown since the first day. After days of silent observation and interrogations, they enacted a solution that no civilian had anticipated. They announced a relocation. Fraueninsel, which is that other one we showed. Another Chiemsee Island had been deemed suitable for non-essential civilians. Families, those without specialised skills, the elderly, and anyone identified as a source of unrest. KSM framed it as a protective measure, a way to ease overcrowding and reduce tension, but it also allowed them to isolate potential agitators and thin population under their direct control. Before the transfer, however, the KSM needed to ensure the island was secure. Air reconnaissance patrols crossed the lake under fog. Armed and silent, they found Fraueninsel overrun, its gardens, courtyards and monastery grounds were crawling with infected. The unit cleared it with brutal efficiency, gunfire across the water for hours. By dawn the island was purged and the KSM began methodically establishing perimeters, burning bodies and converting the monastery into a controlled living zone. Within a week they began transporting selected civilians across. They did not move everyone, only those KSM considered manageable, non-threatening or more useful elsewhere. But the shift drastically cooled the tensions that had been boiling on Herrenziel. With numbers reduced, space opened and the loudest dissenters separated from the rivals, arguments faded. Not because the people found peace, but because the KSM had engineered it. Nights grew colder and fires once again became necessary for warmth. As smoke drifted across the lake, carrying scent of wood, desperation, newly burned infected from Fraueninsel. From Herrenziel, survivors could see the silhouettes of the undead wandering the mainland shore, aimless, patient, and waiting. But now population saw something else as well. The KSMs reached extended beyond the island they slept on. They were not simply guarding Herrenziel, they were shaping it. And November made it clear that KSM's order was not going to loosen, only tighten. So yeah, there's this is going to be like the main sort of, I say, refugee area. So KSM and people. So I don't know quite how it's going to look on the server, but I imagine it'll be quite different in places to what we see. And then they kicked everyone off. There was trouble, basically. Seems, and then dumped them over here. So it's a monastery. This is like this. Background. Yeah, so they got a little docks, but yeah, I don't know if there's like a group or anyone actually living on here, or what the reality of what they did with the people here, but that's obviously not something we're even really going to be aware of in our group. Like, we know there was, an effort for people to come here for shelter, but beyond that, like, we're not really going to know much of these inner workings of the island. Month 3, December, the winter hunger. Winter arrived like an executioner. Snow smothered Heron Inzel and Farron Inzel alike, softening footsteps, muting distant screams, and turning every moment into a battle against the cold. Life did not stop, but it slowed, narrowed, and stiffened, much like the infected across the lake. With temperature drop, the infected changed. Runners, the ones who once sprinted with inhuman speed, became sluggish, reduced to heavy, staggering walkers. But when they lost in speed, they gained in force. Their attacks were slow but devastating, their blows driven by sheer cold, hardened weight. Patrols reported that a single stroke from these winter infected could break bone or send grown men collapsing into the snow. Despite the season's brutality, the island's food reserves held steady. KSM rationing system had been rigid by design that sustained them. The true strength came from not from hunger but from health. Without medical machines and pharmaceuticals out of the old world, ventilators, scanners, cancer treatments and advanced antibiotics, ordinary illnesses became silent threats. Pneumonia, chronic conditions, untreated infections, complications from old injuries, ailments that once required hospital rooms now faced improvised care. Medical bay was filled quickly, not because supplies were gone, but because medicine without technology was little more than hope in sterile packaging. Doctors could diagnose but no longer cure, they could treat symptoms but not the disease. Families watched loved ones fade not from the infection but from the absence of the world that once held them alive. KSM worked relentlessly to maintain order, but even they could not fight time. They allowed no chaos, no riots, no collapse, but they could not stop death from creeping through the infirmary in quite relentless waves. Bodies of deceased, for those the old world might have saved, were cremated swiftly to prevent secondary outbreaks. Families grieved in silence, sometimes given only moments before the flames claimed those they'd lost. By mid-December, the situation reached a breaking point, not in food, not in security, but in medical desperation. KSM authorised a recon team to cross the lake in search of equipment, supplies, oxygen tanks, specialised medication, surgical kits, anything that might prolong lives. The team left at dusk, disappearing into the winter mist. They never came back. Their absence was not unexpected. Everyone knew the mainland without hope, but it struck like a hammer blow. Even KSM, iron-willed and prepared, could not hide the shift in morale. Winter had not starved them, winter had not broken their walls. It simply reminded everyone without the war that once relied on survival was no longer guaranteed, even without the infected. A bit of that from the other one. So we don't really know much of this was happening over there. Oh my god, most they were military and shelter, but we didn't go there for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm not sure how we'll react encountering these guys, or if we'll have much to do with them in terms of, I don't know if there's going to be an attempt to visit for supplies or whatever, to establish trade, things like that. Just kind of depends how things play out. Yeah, we get the eyes, not the fun kind of eyes, we get the kind of snaps electric lines, and these you got power for weeks at a time. 2008, we spent 47 days on electric. Jesus, dude. That's rough. Extra windows over there. Up here. Month 4, January, the breaking point. January marked 4 months since the fall of Chiemsee, in the month when hope nearly vanished entirely. The date was January 13th, 2026. So yeah, that's the in-game start date for, I'm guessing, Friday. But we'll see. By then the islands lived under the rhythm of winter, slow days, long nights, and the constant awareness that the lake, now crushed with ice at its edges, no longer the perfect barrier it had once been. Cold kept the infected sluggish, but also made everything else harder: repairs, patrols, even morale. It was in this atmosphere of thinning patience and quiet despair that the KSM made a decision that surprised even their most loyal followers. They initiated outreach. Till then, all focus remained on stabilising Heron Inzel and Farron Inzel. Mainland had been deemed suicidal to approach, too many infected, too little intel, and too great a risk to lose the few trained forces they had left. But the pressure from the medical bay, diminishing certainty about the world beyond the lake, and the rising number of unanswered questions pushed the KSM towards a grim conclusion. They could no longer afford to not know what remained out there. Their first target was a location they had scattered months ago. The former checkpoint outpost, the closest reliable point of entry into the mainland. It was dangerous but reachable, familiar. The only place where our mission stood a chance of success. So I don't know if this is actually a location on the normal map. I don't know of any, like, checkpoints over here, but maybe there's something. But again, I think there's going to be map edits that kind of deal with things like that. So I think it's just a town up here. So yeah, it might be this one. I like that they added the Abrams tanks, because this is Germany, so it's NATO. It's not fucking Russian. Everything's not Russian, which is kind of nice. Obviously, you still have a lot of DayZ assets, which all that kind of Russian-based stuff. But it'll be interesting to see like weapons and things like that that we were talking about. And should be leaning more NATO guns than Russians, even though, you know, I think last time we had a pretty random mix of stuff. There wasn't that much Russian gear, to be fair. But we'll see. Got a new mouse, Christmas. Why it's not quite settled into a trap things. Don't know what. I need to do some fucking cable management. I just need a full on fucking clean down there. But yeah, so despite protests from some survivors, those who feared losing their protectors, those who believed the mainland was nothing but a grave, KSM launched the expedition anywhere. The decision wasn't up for debate. The unit operated on necessity, not public opinion. Boats left before dawn, slipping into the mist like shadows. They returned 2 days later. So they do have boats, which does make me wonder if the bridge is even open. I guess it must be though, right? We check general information. Updated 2 weeks ago. Which one are we looking at? There we go. Yeah, got it. Should I just repaste it? Probably the easiest way to do that, right? Is everything else still the same? Is it just this bit, or is there more that I've missed? I don't know when I last updated this one. It's just really hard to read Discord for me. Let me do a new one. It's the last bit of December, okay. Just gonna paste it through as I go, just so I've got a full copy of that. Right, so I'll just start again. Oh wait, no, this is January, so okay. So just January start. Oh wait, do we not have January in that one? Or is it just not? Oh wait, so it's changed. What happened to January 13th that was on all the other ones? Is it just, has that been ditched now? So this lot doesn't count. Because yeah, our group one still says January as well. Don't show on the stream, but that one. I think. Yeah, so we still got January and stuff in our group, so that doesn't count then. Okay. Because it has the numbers as well. Because end of December there's 10, and then January there's 8. So yeah, just kind of squidge it into the end of December maybe. Yeah. I was wondering about that. Open days are full days. I'm just curious how that works. Run off games and goes. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're doing open servers because I brought it up in the meeting. And everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, no, every day is 3 days to the law." So I don't know. I did ask Snow about it, but he was like, "I don't know. I need to speak to Leanne about it because he wasn't sure what was happening." So I don't know, Selector, how the server's working in terms of open times now, if we're still doing open days, if Sunday's even a thing, or if we're just doing Friday, Saturday sessions. Like I say, I was just gonna fucking write it out and figure it out as we went. Yeah, having Friday be starting when the thing, it would mean having different time cycles for different days and stuff, which is just a fucking pain. So yeah, I don't know if we're even doing open server now. Yeah, let me roll back then. So yeah, so December, right? Everything else, everything's the same. So December. So yeah, ignore January. Month 4, December. The winter hunger. Winter arrived like an executioner. Snow smothered, turning into like softening footsteps, muting distant screams, and turning everyone into a bat against the cold. Life did not stop, it slowed. No, that's how we read all this. Runners, yes, read that. Yeah, read that bit. Yeah, read that bit. Yeah. So I think this about where it changes. KS7 maintained order relentlessly. There were no riots, no chaos, no breakdown in authority, but even they could not stop death from moving quietly through the infirmary in relentless waves. Those who died, people the old world might have saved, were cremated swiftly to prevent secondary outbreaks. Families were sometimes given only moments before the flames took those they'd lost. By early December, the pressure reached a breaking point, not in food, not in security, but in medical desperation. Mainland outreach. Early December, the KSM made a decision that surprised even the most loyal followers. They initiated mainland outreach. Until then, all focus remained on stabilising Heron Incel and Frown Incel. Mainland had been deemed suicidal, too many infected, too little intelligence, and too great risk of losing a few trained forces that remained. But the mounting deaths in the medical bay, the uncertainty of the world beyond the lake, and the realisation that isolation alone would not save them forced a grim conclusion. They could no longer afford not to know what remained out there. The first target was a location scouted months earlier, a former checkpoint outpost, the close reliable point of entry into the mainland. Dangerous but reachable, familiar, the only place where a mission stood a chance. Despite protests from civilians, those who feared losing protectors, those who believed the mainland was nothing but a grave, decisions stood. KSM did not operate on consensus, they operated on necessity. The boats left before dawn, slipping into the mist like shadows. They returned 2 days later. Their condition told the story before the words did. Grim, exhausted, haunted, arms scarred from close encounters. Packs sagging with only modest supplies, scavenged batteries, cracked radios, outdated medical tools. But among the salvage was something more important than food or weapons, a partially functional transmitter, damaged, incomplete, but alive. KSM engineers worked for days to coax it back from silence. Wires were stripped, components repurposed, power rerouted, static filled the air, then thinned. This was their method of hearing further out, something that normal radios could not do. And then on December the 8th, first contact, December 8th, static broke. A sputtering frequency cut through the noise, a faint hum, something, unmistakable human voices. walked, fragmented and distant but real. For the first time since September, sound across the lake that wasn't screaming, gunfire or wind. KSM gathered civilians to the announcement, something we had not done in months. The message was simple. There's something out there. Someone will send a team out to get them. As the transmitter flickered, broken voices bled through the static. Proof that organised survivors still existed before Chiemsee. Hope returned, not strong, not safe, but undeniable. Yeah, if the day is open, counts as 3 days. We're doing Friday, Saturday. In closing Sunday mornings when RP concludes. It'll be announced on each day to make sure people know what day it is. Okay, so the only real open day would be a Saturday before anyway, so it's not like we don't have the Sunday at all to play, right? It's just because things get really confusing because you both have people in game and sort of events saying tomorrow, next day, whatever. It gets really hard, really fucking quick to tell what people mean, and it's and then you get kind of a bit like, do you mean like? And people start talking like cycles, but it's like, what are you talking like in game, out game? Like, it just gets really fucking confused really quickly. So, I think I said last time. I think a good way of doing it is like each new day in game having a little admin message that says, you know, 6 a.m. December the XEX, you know, just so people get that point of reference as days move. So you can say, yeah, on the X of whatever month we do this kind of thing, you know, like being able to set a day can be a bit easier. But once you throw like open server into it and it's not, you know, you start getting nights, it gets really fucking weird when people start saying tomorrow. It's like, do you mean when the sun comes up, or do you mean tomorrow? Like, it's so fucking hard. What's that? Sorry, I'm lost in chat. So I'm just trying to figure out where I got to. You're gonna have to do the sleep thing like they had in quarantine, play on. What you mean, like? Did they add something to quarantine? Because when I was playing, they didn't have a sleep mod. Because I was told paying sleep mods are fucking stupid, and I hate them. What they did have was it was ambient wake up mod where you wake up when you get on the server. So it's like when you quit, it was like you're going to sleep and waking up. It's like waking up. But no, I don't think so. It's just downtime. It's enforced downtime sleep mods. They're stupid. You know what I mean? I fucking hate them. I think any server that uses them doesn't understand what the RP is doing. You roleplay the fucking sleep, and you know, if the day and night cycle doesn't make sense, it doesn't make fucking sense. You know, it's like whatever. It's a fucking roleplay server. It's like there's no one sleeping in GTA, right? No one's fucking doing that. I'm just gonna change to live scene so you haven't got to look at fucking my screen. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. So just saying that when, you know, at sun up, you know. Friday and Saturday both open days and won't be doing events like last time. Also, that's a good idea. In hindsight, we won't be able to catch each time. Plus, day and night cycle might night up. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like when you say it's open day, it's like, what time is it opening on Friday? You know, what time? Like, is it just going to open Friday at some point, or are we like, you talking like 10 a.m., 10 p.m. Like, that's like it's kind of a bit different. Yeah, but the server schedule doesn't really say what time it opens. It just says There's event timing, right? Oh, here we go. 6 p.m. until... Okay, so Friday 6 p.m. my time until Sunday mornings. Okay. I see. What about tomorrow? What time are we? I'm guessing tomorrow's got a different start time, right? So has that been announced yet? Oh, that's fine. I've got it here. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Yeah, so it opens 6 p.m. Fridays at 6 p.m. until Sunday mornings when RP concludes. Sure. And then event timing about 12:30 or midnight 30 my time. And then we got Friday, Saturday every week until 20 and 21. It's the last one. Obviously that's open to changing. Ooh. Just jump into chat. Yeah, when your character's up for days, when she had to sleep, so it's just POV. That must have been season 2 then. Yeah. If we could work on a mod to do that, it might be something to work on future. So schedule messages. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, for the pop-ups. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be an every day. It's just like if you guys can keep track of it, somewhat. But yeah, I think what helped last year by not having, or last session by not having the open hours was that you could make it three days kind of thing, but it was still really hard to keep track of, like, time. And I mean, I was getting on when it opened and staying until it closed generally. So yeah, it can be difficult, especially when things are very specific, like when we were talking about attacking like the power plant stuff. Like, it was really confusing, like are we meant to be going now, like are we doing tomorrow? Like, it got really confusing then. It felt a bit got a bit overwhelming with that because the events worked so like little downtime. So yeah, I think it's going to be less of an issue this time because it's not so event based, it's more open. But yeah, I mean, the issue there is because there isn't going to be much open time. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I could see people logging on on Friday and not getting off until Sunday morning. If it was a more DayZ crowd, if you know what I mean. Because it's a bit less that, I think we won't have that issue. But there's definitely people I've seen do that on like Red Zone and stuff, and it's just like, you know, you need to fucking get off the server, dude. But yeah. Second season, the sleep mods. I'd rather see hygiene mod than the sleep mod. Yeah, the sleep mods are fucking stupid. I haven't seen a hygiene mod, so I don't know what that one is. But yeah, no, they're the dumbest things. We talked about them a bit with Red Zone, and it was just like, no, like, at a glance, like, oh, that's interesting. But in practicality, it's just, I had to deal with it on Stalker Z, and it was just, it's the most pointless fucking sit here and do nothing for like 5-10 minutes. It's like, dude, there's times when I need a shit or I need a piss. I will put myself into sleep position. That's enough. Like, that's roleplay, right? That'll fucking do. You know. Events are player driven this time, so event times aren't likely to be too much of a thing. So, yeah. Yes. If some motherfucker tries to get me to celebrate Christmas, I might shoot them in the face, so I will warn you. It's a test this season. We'll have it closed for a few hours this week between Friday and Saturday, but the other weeks, let's see if we can get away with it being open or this. Yeah, for sure. I think it's difficult because like I really enjoy like existence roleplay and just kind of chilling and exploring and stuff like that. And the problem with open servers is because people get on different times, people wander off. That was what was nice about the first arc, right? It's because you had that everyone knew when sale was opening. So you kind of all got up at the same time in game. You kind of dawdled for 30, 45 minutes, maybe, and then went off as a group. And if someone couldn't make that time, like you have to catch up, right? As soon as it becomes open, it will start splitting the groups up pretty early. Or you're forced to sit and fucking wait. And either way, it starts eating resources. And with community groups, it's more of a thing. Like, I had this on Quarantined, right, where I would scavenge a lot. You know, I just fucking played, right? And I had a bit more time than everyone else, so I scavenged a lot. I'd go out and what took me like 3-4 hours worth of scavenging, I'd come back, store it all away, log off for a bit, log back on later, and it was all gone. And everyone would be like, we don't have anything. It's like, well, what happened to all the shit I brought back? You know? And there was no like accountability or acknowledgement and shit like that. And it becomes like, people become a bit of a workhorse, you know? And I think with how rare things are going to be on this, it could get a little bit tight for people. I think some people might go a bit overboard. Like I was talking with Snowboat, and it's like, you know, they're going to keep an eye on inventories and stuff, make sure people aren't just fucking hoarding. And there's only so much you can store with the storages we'll have and things like that. Yeah, once things become open, it becomes a very different server, you know. And I think there's always that temptation with ideas to suddenly turn these little ideas into, well, that could work as a full-time server. You know what I mean? And then it becomes, well, you know, that then things change. Like, it changes that dynamic so hugely. So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting experiment for sure. To see how things play out and how people react to it. Hygiene mod, you have to find water source and drop your clothes in bays. If you don't, keep your hygiene at a certain level, it affects your stamina and other things. Okay, interesting. Sometimes I break down stuff and make sharpening stones and it would all disappear. Yeah, I mean, you fucking saw it, Shadowballs, like, fucking shit just went, you know? And I think there's also that problem of, and I noticed this in the first season, first arc, people have their DayZ gear, right? You have what each person kind of has what they expect to be carrying, you know, and for some people, like me, it's like, ideally I want one gun with mag in, 2 spare mags, a pistol, mag in, spare mag, ammo for both. I want a couple bandages, I want some basic meds, like real basic meds, maybe a morphine, maybe an epi, You know, I rarely will carry like Tetra and shit like that, but it's usually like might carry vitamins, you know, might carry a couple Tetra. Never bother with codeine. What else medical stuff do I carry? That's about it really. And then, you know, binoculars, compass, map, chlorine tablets if I need them, or better is those new ones from Sakar that I forget the new ones. I can't remember the fucking name for them. But they were always heavy. I don't know why they made them so fucking heavy. It was stupid. Then tools, so you know, pliers usually. Some form of light, you know, so flashlight or headlamp ideally. You know, like I have like a set bunch of gear, you know, a couple knives, and that's the stuff I expect. And when you have a limited amount of gear, and you also get into roleplay characters, so people want to be doctors or medics and things like that, they'll start hoarding stuff and carrying it like it's you know, like they're the ones looting things, right? And suddenly there's nothing there. And then when they aren't around, suddenly you are stripped or missing basic gear. Or you are struggling for ammo and things like that. And I saw it a little bit in Arc 1. I saw it more on Quarantined than anything. Because it's like, you know, a few people were like, oh, that's my gear. It's what my character carrying. It's like, yeah, but you're taking it all, you know? You're taking all of the 5.56, you know? And no one's gone and said, well, you use this gun, use that gun, you use that gun, so we use different ammo, you know? It's like, we were pretty good at it with Arc 1. Like, Jean was really always kind of like, do you want this extra 308 to me? Like, it's always going, oh, I've got some extra 308, you know? And I was always fucking, because I was always pumping bullets into things, and by the end of the firefight, I'd be out of bullets, you know? And it wasn't like I was wasting them. They were all going, they were all hitting targets. But, yeah, you know, just churning through that shit. But there was definitely people who were, you know, kind of overloading their character with stuff and not using it. I think we were pretty tight. Like, the shit that I had in my character, I was pretty efficient. I tried to minimise most of my extra gear. Because I had a couple close calls with, like, bandages and shit. Yeah, so that was it. Like, that was the only guy with a 5.4 gun. So it's like, take it all, right? Yeah, like I said, we were pretty, I think we were all pretty solid in Arc 1. I think most people were pretty fun. I think the medical stuff was probably the most spread out stuff, or like hoarded stuff. And we were definitely kind of short on things that I know we had more of. I don't know where half that stuff went. Like I said, I tend to find it happens with medical role players a lot more. People who want to be nurses and doctors will tend to hold on to things that they don't really need to be distributing, because it's like they feel like it's their chance to get in on the role play. That's more of an open server thing, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes it works. So I remember at one point I got fucking morphined when we were assaulting the base, you know, because I didn't have any, and I was like, I was fucked, you know. But you know, I just fucking pumped me up, and I was just fucking pushed on. But then we didn't have much of it either, so it's like, yeah, it might not feel like much to take three pens, you know, but that might be everything we have, you know, and putting that all on one person is kind of, it's a little bit risky. But again, I feel like that's more, it's more gear-wise of everyone having, this is what I'm used to my character having, when loot is kind of a given, you know what I mean? And Arc 1 and this arc will be very different to that, because you've got a much more limited pool, especially this time around, you know, so I think it will be interesting this time because everything will be that much more vital and essential that when shit is going missing or we haven't got anything, it's going to be that, where the fuck has this gone, you know? And like, why have you taken stuff out of the medical place to carry on your person and then fucked off for 2 days? You know, that shit will get called out, I think. But we'll see. I mean, it's needed to. Yeah, and like I said, I've got nothing against people doing it. It's just, I think that it's more of a holdover from that open server attitude of like, this is my gear. This is what I always attain to have on a character. You know, they'll have a couple core items, core loadouts and shit like that, and you'll always sort of strive to get that, and everything else is kind of extra, superfluous, kind of non-essential kind of gear. But yeah, it's just a, you know, it's one of those things. Not many people play very hardcore servers where gear is super limited, you know? I'm always told people don't like it, but then every time I've seen it done, people have loved it, so yeah. I love this little fucking whatchamacallit, a refugee camp. Like, this is what I was talking about, Leon, if you're still with us, like tent cities and, you know, ramshackle kind of put together, like that's what my brain says a refugee camp looks like. And some really nice bits like that on this map. There's really, really cool details. Yeah, be interesting to see how it plays out. Like, it's a big map, so I'm really curious how people are gonna do with traversing it, how they're gonna deal with surviving, like the weather, like when there are these massive gaps between towns and stuff. Like on Melkart, you were tripping over towns. So, well, not towns, but like structures. Whereas here, there's some good stretches. Like if you go the wrong way, you are kind of out in the wild. And so when you get hit with the blizzard, it's going to be more of a fuck. Okay, where do I find shelter? You know, just because it's going to be hard to navigate in the kind of weather. So I think it's where GPSs will become very useful, you know, just trust in the fucking direction and things. Like, I'm pretty good at navigating in general on DayZ. But I still definitely have, you know, slips here and there. But yeah, it should be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. So I love kind of winter survival. I'm curious how the zombies are going to be though. Just because there's so fucking many of them. It's going to be kind of wild. Really like this little swampy area. There's a really nice house up here somewhere. Yeah, this one. That's a great little compound. Seems like burnt down. It's cool though. It's separated. Yeah, some really nice little details and bits. But I don't know like how much we're gonna even see and explore out here, you know, like unless you've got good reason why you're gonna come out into the fucking wastes. There's another big town down here on the other side. So this is Chiemsee town down here. It's the only sign I've seen for it. This is a bit less ruins. I'm curious what this will be like. But again, like, would we even make it over here? Who knows? But yeah, with slow zombies, it's going to make for some really interesting interactions, I think. The fact this is like walled off and stuff, it's really interesting. It's only the one ground route in here, so kind of cool. Next in season 1, we're also, I'm just going to make some clicks the last day. They wouldn't, for some reason, I've put in a fist up to confirm she ready to go. The mail cart was awesome. No, I had a voice at that point. Combat manager certified by us. Yeah. Yeah, some very nice, cool little details, like the little rivers and stuff are really nice. Gonna turn into little streams. Shit like this is like, you know, can really fuck you up. But yeah, beautiful work from the map maker. Like it's, I 100%, I guarantee someone's stomping through this, getting soaked and getting some frostbite. It's gonna happen. Yeah, some cool little bits. But the map makers put amazing, like, blobs of detail here and there. Like stream that runs up over this side. Right into Red Hunt really subbed me, right? It's great so far. I don't think I've seen Siberia. I just want to see some fucking different non-fucking Russia locations, you know? I'm so tired of the same assets getting used. But I understand what it takes to create some assets, but at the same time, you'd think there'd be fucking more out there by now. Like someone would have made some, like, American small town assets, but no. Nothing. Got me fucking looking at them. Yeah, some really nice towns here. This is Prian. Kind of a cool one. Like expansive town, but yeah, I'm curious how infected are going to be in places like this, just because they, like I say, they are slow, so they're kind of manageable. But it's not like it's a small town that you can kind of run around the outskirts, make lots of noise, get them all, and then kind of lead them away. You know. It's going to be more of a stealth thing, but, you know, it'll be interesting to see how people will kind of deal with it. Bits of play. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's over here. Yeah, there's some like some mountainous bits. So I'll show you what I'm doing. But yeah, there's a little river. It's kind of cool. I love little details like that. It's very nice. Also, the mountains are a bit lazily done, but I think this is pre-Sakal, so I can see why they didn't put rocks in. But like, after seeing how the mountains in Sakal are done, it's like, I feel it's a bit of a shame they just be all slopes, you know? Because the rocks really stop you just fucking stomping up, you know? Like, you can just go and just fucking hoof it up. Whereas you put some rocks in the way, you have to like navigate around or use them. So it'd have been nice to have them kind of dotted up and down. Because you can distribute them the same way you do trees. I don't know why people don't. Yeah. What's that? I met up here. I loved it. No pixel. I just wish servers gave more. So those not to put effort into those experience. Yeah, I mean, I know No Pixel was a fucking shit show for medical RP. Especially in the CG era of skip. You know, it's like fucking way to kill any kind of immersion. You know? But like here, like you can see like I feel like they started putting the effort in, then went, this is gonna be way too much work. You know what I mean? Like it's good level of detail here. And then it's just kind of lost everywhere else. It's just It's not bothered. But maybe they just couldn't figure out a way to do it. He's still building there. Has that one build that's New York map too. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Is there like a YouTube channel previewing it or something? Like, I don't know where you gotta look at things like that. I don't know about them when they fucking turn up on a stream or someone tells me about them usually. But yeah, so my character is a sort of a YouTube bushcraft type dude that does like ASMR videos. So he doesn't really know, he's not sitting there chatting going, hey chat. Just literally videos and ambient of him camping places. And so he's got his little camper van that he travels around the world in and lives out of, but then he does like off-grid camping as well. So the story of my character is he's parked his car up safely in Prion and then hiked his way down here. And I can't remember. I think, I went this way. And I've come across here and he's hiked up into the hills. And then was just camping up here in the wilderness and kind of living his life. And the outbreak happened. So he wasn't like fully aware of the outbreak at first. But then obviously noises and things happening. Can't really see because of the weather, but he'd have seen shit happening down in the valley or down the ground. These things are purple. Interesting. And then made his way back down and joined a group from there. I won't go into any further. That's the story. There's some nice stuff up in these hills. Like this is like a little basin area. There's some more mountains up this way. There's some cool little bits as well. Tucked in little tunnels. I've been looking at these tunnels for ages because I want to use them for one of the maps I'm making for vignettes. So it's nice to see them utilised. It's part of Chiemsee's. I'm not sure what they'll be like in terms of building warmth mods, interiors and shit like that. Like I don't know which buildings will be considered shelter. But like coming up here is probably going to be really dangerous because if I'm pretty sure in Sakal the higher you went the colder things got as well. And like so this is so much higher. I think it could be kind of dangerous. So I wouldn't be surprised if some people die up here. Or get very close to it and end up going, no, fuck this. I'm going down and just coming down. And maybe a few fall off the mountain. Road tree. Can run away. Let's see. First impressed to the point doctors didn't stay at the hospital and were called by EMS to clock in for surgeries and that's it. Yeah, well the thing is with that though, it's like on No Pixel, they would have done that too because doctors had that prio, but because they had that prio, they weren't allowed to do anything else, you know, they weren't allowed to fucking go and roleplay and exist. And I think that put a lot of people off trying stuff like that because you were suddenly locked into this environment where people didn't even want to fucking roleplay with you. Fuck. Like I really wanted to do AMS, but they were like, well, you have to do X amount of hours a week. And it's like, don't put demands on people like that because then they just won't fucking do it. Like, if I could just jump in and do it when I wanted to do it, I'd have fucking made EMS ages ago and I'd still be playing now. But because it'd be like, you have to do X amount, and it was a bit, it was some difficult fucking people on No Pixel, especially in management positions. Like, it just suck all the fun out of anything like that. It's fucking stupid. Oh, this is cool. I found this today. Someone's 100% falling down this. I saw this on a map, on a review of the map. Someone's 100% falling down that fucking staircase. It's happening. But nice they put that kind of environment in. Yeah, look, big old sinkhole. Quite a lot of stuff though. Obviously, like, you know, usually people will be like, oh, bunkers, loot, shit like that, but we're not having any of the loot table. It's only placed items, so there might be fuck all in there, which is great. Because, you know, you'll be able to spot the sort of the loot mechanic people because of where they go, you know? The people who are sat there looking at fucking Eyes of Ive going, oh, there's military over here, we should go here. And then to find nothing, you know? Should be really funny. But yeah, like the little bits between towns are really nice. I like that a lot of their towns are just fucking wrecked though. Like where do you start looting in a town like this, right? There's like a convoy and shit. It's probably like more likely to find something. But it should make for some really interesting gameplay choices, you know. Like my thing will be like, where's shelter? You know, where can you fucking set up like an outpost to camp and get warm supplies in there, and then, you know, you scout out from there, and then once you start looking a bit ropey, you go back. But it's all going to depend on how, you know, how many infected are there, how much you can sneak away from them, you know. Should be really interesting. Yeah. But I will give you guys one little bit of spoiler about something that I'm interested in as a player. Yeah. This bad boy. Super interested in this bit. Yeah. So this is probably going to be kind of a major point in my roleplay. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All kind of depends on what sort of pans out from everything. And where I end up. Yeah, I'm hoping to get into hunting, foraging, trapping, that kind of thing. So my character is a bushcraft person, so that's kind of what I'm going to put his skill set into, is surviving out in this. But obviously that's going to be a learning experience as well, because I don't know what the conditions are like, and he didn't come planning to be camping in this. He was camping in, you know, July, August, you know, so he's got some wet and cold weather gear, but he wasn't about to come do like Arctic type conditions. You know, it's not Arctic, but fucking near enough. And a lot of his gear's kind of been used up at this point because it's been a couple of months. Day 12 outdoor exploring camp from Canada, yeah. Look at Red Hunt, though, New York. Yeah, I saw the New York map ages ago. I wasn't very impressed though, because it was just very tall, thin buildings and wasn't much creativity and custom assets, and just seemed a bit lazy. And then it was very flat as well, just because New York is, but you know, it was early days. But they'd kind of done this whole thing where it was like exclusive shit like that, and just made it seem like it was bigger than it was, and it just wasn't. It wasn't anything close to what it was striving to be. But I'll keep an eye out for sure. Oh, did he do the little Japanese map? I forget the name of it. I fucking hate how awful Hashima, that's it. How awful like workshop is. It's done a winter version, of course. Can't even find it looking for the name of it. Just wanted to see if it was him that did it. Hashima, none of these are the fucking map. Alright, fuck it then. Winter Islands. Alright. I don't know, I can't even find it. This is what sucks, like, you can't just click terrains and see all the fucking terrain maps, you know? It's so stupid. There's like a billion things that aren't even close to terrain, listed under terrain on the workshop. And most of them haven't even got pictures, and it's like, dude, like there's no curation that goes on with workshop, and it's the worst thing in the world. That's another thing that big bothers me. A lot of service make you do certain hours. Doctors never requirements because no one wants us to be us. But with my real job, I can't guarantee those hours and time. I might need to just be like, yeah. Can't do GTA. I don't want to work in video game. Yeah, I don't mind working if it's like there's some fun roleplay to be had. But that was the problem with Digital Den. Like, you would be present, and people complain that you weren't fucking there, and it's like, dude, I'm there all the fucking time. You just don't want to interact with people, you know. And we tried to like create a feeling of reality and stuff, and they were just, you know, they just made it untenable and unfun. Stupid. Like and subscribe. Yeah. DJ something else. It's most of what I've done. I want to find something less grindy, but I'll never regret my times because I met some of my favorite people and friends. Like this, good. Yeah. That's it. Like I loved my time on GTA. It was never the roleplay or the stuff. It was the people in the community that fucked me off on No Pixel. You know. I mean, this version 4 was a bit shit. Like, no one can deny it. Like, version 4 was fucking such a downgrade from 3.0. Like, huge downgrade. And not because they abandoned what DW did, because I fucking hated DW shit. Like, most of his stuff was so asinine and bullshit. Like, the heist stuff was awful. Oh, I'm gonna make this convoluted puzzle that you have no reason. Like my ass people figured that shit out naturally. They were drip fed shit in DMs 100%, so certain groups got to expose how this heist was done. And then they'd complain about people metaing it, and it's like, motherfucker, you have the most convoluted puzzle going on that there's no possible way you could learn about it unless you meted it. And then you're like saying, oh, well, this person just wants this. Of course they fucking did. That's how it was designed to be done. Like, it's the only way you could do it. It was stupid and unfun. I would never understand it. When all you needed to do was put jobs in banks and have people rob the banks. It's not that fucking big, you know? It's really not that hard. Have the fleeces and have the main banks fucking have roleplay jobs in. And all it needs to be is do some filing. Walk to the filing cabinet, press E, it does that thing, and now it puts, oh, now you need to do some paperwork at the photocopier. And you walk over that and just have people march around and earn money for the time spent there. That was a decent wage. So when they finished their shift, they could fuck off and buy the shit they wanted, you know? And then when someone wants to rob the bank, there's staff there. And they don't need to go and grab a hostage from the nearest food place because that's where people are and disrupt their roleplay. Like, it's so fucking simple and no one does it. I still have not seen a single motherfucking story do it. Like, servers do it. Like, no one's done it. It's so simple. But yeah, fuck GTA, man. He's modifying you now. I guess DayZ is the same way, but grinding in a different way. I like it though, because you can just go out on your own, stay in tune. Yeah, but that's it. Like GTA, you have certain expectations of what the gameplay is. DayZ, the gameplay's already there. You know, that grindy aspect is kind of the gameplay, like the existence, the looting, the gathering, survival. The same way people like any survival game, and that's what works for it for me. It's like I like the worlds, I like the mechanics of things. Like it's kind of grounded. Sure, it's arcadey, but there's enough there to be kind of interesting. The guy creating DayZ Edit is starting to do different things. He's remapped Cheno for a server he's opening. They played test last week. I launched a special on Sunday. That's what I don't get though. Like, you're using Cherno and remapping, like, it doesn't work. Like, you add items into the map on a server level, on a mission level, right? So basically, it works just like armor. Like map edits are missions, right? And so the same way you'd add units, like in armor, you'd pop down a couple of tanks, couple like squads of people, whatever. And they're basically their class name and their starting position and orientation is registered in a mission file. And then people started doing it even in Arma 2 days, where you could add buildings, right? So you could build a town within the map or whatever. And you couldn't at that point delete objects on the map, so you kind of had to work around what you had. So people would like go to the ocean and build over the ocean the bits they wanted or needed. Must have been my keyboard. Ugh. But we had them on Arma 2 as well, where you had these map editors and various ways of getting these new items in. But the more items you add to a map, the worse the performance is, because it's not, you know, it's not play tested for that. It's not refined for that layout, you know. And there's a reason you don't have hugely built up cities in those engines, because the engine can't fucking handle it, right? Better these days, obviously, because they're old fucking engines on newer computers, so you can add a lot more and still be playable. But people still do it, where they you know, try and create a new map on an existing. But with DayZ Editor, combined with the tools and the thing, like, if he added a few more bits to DayZ Editor, like a decent fucking road tool, he could just use his export function, paste that into a proper map with its import function, which exists, because I was doing it back in Arma 2 days. Boom, you've got an actual new map. So why the fuck they're doing it in this old method? Because like these hard-baked items are much less draining on performance, because the server hasn't got to translate that information. You know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of get why people do it, but it's also like, you're just increasing the demand on the server, which is going to run like shit now, especially when you get more than one player into an area and it just becomes a shit show. So it's like, it's cool, but it's also like, dude, like, enhance your tools, you know? Because if let's say if he put a good road tool in DayZ Editor, like I had one that my friend built, or rather it was a guy that I used his tool and he joined our team at some point. He was a coder for Arma 2. And I was like, dude, I've been using your road tool, it's the best thing ever. It's why we managed to make our fucking maps, right? And it's literally like you painted the map, literally. It's like, here you just be like, and just draw a line and it would build the road, and then you could press a button and it would basically take, like, the way terrain works is it's a grid, so they're literally squares, right? Most custom maps use 10 by 10. I won't go into any more than that, but 10 meters by 10 meters. So every 10 meters there is another node, right? So pretend these are nodes, right? So, you know, say that's 10 meters or whatever, and then another 10 meters that way. So at each point there's a point, and that has a height, right? And so you can bring one point up and it's like a little fucking pyramid. And basically, depending on where you put the points, you get slanting hills and stuff. So where you draw the road, it would then take all the nodes it was within a certain range of, and you could make it bigger or smaller, and it would overlay it above the map. So every point would have about 5 meters above it a little grid map reference, so you could kind of see the terrain. And then if you applied the road like location to these things, it would then smooth the terrain nodes to match. And you could then export that data along with your roads that you just painted, go into your Arma 2 editor, import the road objects, and import the terrain edits, and it would edit the height map and put the roads in. And it was fucking glorious. Like, I did so much work with that. I added in a massive road network to our Omaha map. We did the entire road network, some other maps on it. It was so useful. Whereas if we'd done it by hand, it would have been like 6 months work. Like, and no word of a lie, I was banging it out in like 2 weeks. It was amazing. And it's like, you could add that to DayZ Editor. Like, it's not a big fucking, you know, it's the same fucking tech. It's the same tech. Like, I'm so tempted to shuffle the old Arma 2 mod off to Buckle to be like, hey, take a look at this, because you could probably get it to work on DayZ if you wanted to. And then it would make things so much easier for map creation for DayZ. And like I say, the actual tools that Bohemia has that shit built in. Like, it's not anything special, because I've got a mate who studied their open training program and then started doing maps for military training. And he's like, dude, this shit's already in there. Like, their tools are so good. You can literally generate cities, like, automated. Just like, boom, tell them what objects you want here, what kind of, like, compounds and shit, and just press a button, it fucking draws it for you. But they don't put it. You know why? yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you exactly why we don't have those tools. Because then they couldn't sell better maps. Because the community could make awesome maps. Because they know they have expansions that they can sell a new map with that is easier to produce, higher quality than the community maps. Because the community would run away with those fucking tools and make some amazing shit. Like, just like the fucking cave systems, right? Like the underground bunkers, you know, all that shit that we create with the shit we've got, you know, making the best of, right? Like, oh, you know, we can make a ruined city. I don't know if you saw it, Panda, but there's a city in here that's very similar to the one, what's their name made for Livonia back in the day. You know, buildings crashed into buildings and shit. But it's like, you don't see that shit in their proper maps. It's fucking crazy. It's like, you know, I expected so much more from Livonia with caves and mountains. But like, their caves, right? They made a big deal. Oh, there's caves in, you know, it's like, you've just propped up rocks on things, you know? Whereas, you know, this is a whole fucking little bunker complex, the same way we've always kind of built them. Just kind of making do with the shit we've got. But they don't do stuff like this. And I still don't understand why. I also don't quite know why that person made it this fucking deep. But, you know, this is normal for like a map edit stuff. So it's nice to see it being done in a map proper, rather than it being like a you know, something someone's added to the map. But at the same time, you know, they've also got, I've showed before. And so I saw this, I've been looking at these assets for a while. Where's the motherfucker? It's on there somewhere. So to see it actually used in the map is like, oh, thank fuck, you know, someone's done it. You know, and using the little mine asset and just having a little, just something, you know. I say it's a shame the retexture can't be done on these overlaid items, but that's what it is, you know. Chaos, yeah. But that's it. It's like, you know, there's, I get it, but at the same time, mods bring so much life to all of Bohemia's products. I do not understand why they didn't just go, you know what, fuck it. Give them better tools. But again, like the DayZ guy, like DayZ Edit guy, why isn't he just adding that sort of thing that really slows down map making. I just don't think he doesn't really understand map making, you know, like on what it requires in DayZ to do. Love this fucking stream though. It's great. There's a lot of love in this map, you can tell. Like, I've done some really nice here. I think it helps that it's based in a real location, you know, so it gives you a lot to work with. Like this sort of thing, you know, really nice areas. So I'm waiting for someone to fucking stomp through this and get frostbite. 100% people are going to try and like hop this, and somebody's getting booties, right? Somebody's getting a booty full of water. Like, beautiful little map. And logical as well. Like, they just put things in because, you know, the river actually leads. And it goes downhill. Just something DayZ never likes to do. Because they tend to use the sea level for water. And it's like, you do have objects that are water. They just require a lot of fucking work. And alignment is a fucking nightmare, but I don't know how I've done it. I want to know. This guy should do a fucking tutorial on how he did his fucking rivers. This is beautiful work. Like, it's seamless. I haven't seen any, like... Oh, there you go. There's a seam. You know? But it's so minor. Like, I'd rather have seams than not have something full, like a non-flat fucking river. It's great. Did someone doing Switch mods sound fun now? I customize systems. I'll be like, alright, have fun, dude. So yeah, I don't put the mods in my mods. They just got mods because it's like, help if you're here. Yeah, it's a cool map though. Let's say they've done some really nice work on it. And the winter mod is a huge bonus. Obviously, this when they did this, then I'm not doing all the work I did on that other one. This one isn't getting a bank. Still nice though. But again, like the fact that it's not just a flat fucking river. It's an act. Oh, there you go. So, there you go. There's a scene. That's impressive. Like, because someone who's tried to do shit like this, like, that's cool, man. And he's even done sources, you know? It's like a little source of the river coming out of the rocks on some high ground. Really nice. But that looks like a cool map. It doesn't look too blindingly white. Like I said, I think the tree decision, while strange, I really don't think you're going to fucking notice it running around. I think it's just, you know, it sticks out to me because it isn't. Why is the snow green? You know? But again, I think it just minimizes that pop in. You can see it, like if they were white snow, it'd be like black, white, you know. So Chiemsee or Chiemsee. Really nice. Great map, it's huge. With the winter mod. Yeah, really nice one. Don't know. I don't know how to move the camera. I don't know controls in this thing, so I just go like fly through. Don't see anything. Yeah, it's massive though. It's just really big map. Really well done. I think it's gonna be really interesting traversing it. You can see some issues with the LODs, but like, looks cool though. So I'd rather have slightly green snow on trees than having that massive white pop in that we used to have with like early winter generators. Remember back in DayZ Panda when you just like you get near a tree and be like pop, and it did like literally change from like this green distant tree to be a fucking bright white snow covered tree. It's just kind of ugly to see. I mean, you did kind of fade it out. So I think the same way with this. Like you're just not going to be looking at. I'm just going to be fucking focused on the trees. Yeah, you know. A lot of forest to get lost in. I did say in our group meeting, I was like, are there going to be bears? Because there are no bears in Germany. Like, it used to be a long time ago, but there aren't. And I think bears have a big issue in DayZ because they're such a bullet sponge. And, like, especially early on, we might not even have fucking guns. And, like, with the bolt action, no bears are dead sentence. Just charge to you. And so he did kind of agree, yeah, we'll take the bear spawns out. But I might just been to get us off guard. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like, wolves are bad now, especially in the fucking cold and blizzard and everything else we got to deal with. Yeah, this town I was going about Panda. Really nice. This is a small one as well, I think. Yeah, so like, really nice use of assets. Very, very much like that town in Livonia. Like, done on a map level. So cool. Like, this is what I expected from like new maps from Bohemia. And like, Sokal's a cool map. I really like it. But there's nothing special on it, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing stand out. Which is a shame, but I'm hoping maybe that'll change a bit with the guy from Namalsk being creative lead now. But I think we'll probably have to wait until things like DayZ 2. But it looks like they're holding off on DayZ 2. Obviously, I think they're going to get Armor 4 out before they even think about DayZ 2. I think it's a long, long way off. But like, just fucking things. By the way, how's stream? Is things smooth on stream? Because remember we had that problem with last season. We were getting all that jaggy FPS bullshit. Like, is a thing smooth? Or is it kind of... Like, I'm not seeing frames dropped or anything. No one said anything, so I'm assuming it is just smooth as shit, right? Just because I haven't had to change my render mode or my FPS like I was having to every weekend for season or arc 1. It's a pain in my ass. Should be 1086 FPS. So I don't know what fucking caused that. I don't know why it was happening. Never did figure it out. I think it might have just been the map, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see how the server goes tomorrow. So I'm hoping it'll be alright. Yeah, there's some really nice stuff. I even got railway. I think they're Armor 2's tracks as well, which is interesting. They're like, oh look. Did you see? Did you see? It's aligned. That would irritate the fuck out of me as a map maker. Especially someone like me pointing out, it's like, I think there's a gap in the frame. It's like, yeah, well, here's a mound of snow. Very good job, then. I mean, for a custom fucking map, like I said, the amount of detail they put in, It's beautiful. It's beautiful work. Really nice to see. And loads of little bits. Tectonic plate shifted, blowing the earthquake. Exactly. I mean, there's bombs and shit going off. You know? Don't worry about it. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely some love and care. It's been poured into this map. And there's shit everywhere. Like, Snowden is like, I keep finding, like, just things. You know, so I'm flying through the map and finding little camps and outposts and oh, this is cool. This is one of my favorite bits. Little fucking some sort of meteor strike. And they've just painstakingly flattened all the trees all around it. That kind of love. Just a really nice little detail. Yeah, beautiful map though. Like it feels handcrafted across the board, you know. Like I know what it takes to build something like this, so it's just like just tickles my fancy a lot. It's a graveyard. Like I say, I really like how they've just edged the map with this fucking seawall type thing. Very cool. Yeah, like how much? Let's say how much will I actually see? No idea. I'm really looking forward to just getting out, exploring, and doing shit. I think the first couple sessions is literally just going to be fucking basic survival. Getting stuff, heat and food together, hunting, fishing, that kind of shit. We did get Mass's food item stuff included because it's got the drying rack that we had back on vignettes. So I was saying it's kind of, especially on like these limited time servers, you haven't really got time to sit down and fucking hunt and then cook it all and all that other shit. You know, these kind of time-eating tasks, especially for groups. Like it was a pain to try and keep everyone fed, and then you've done it, and like you've done all this fishing, and feel like you've got a fucking wealth of food, and then everyone eats, and it's like, oh, we've got nothing left. You know what I mean? So I just spent half an hour fishing, probably half an hour to an hour cooking, and then it's all gone in 5 minutes. You know. We did manage to get ahead of it eventually by the end, but it was kind of touch and go for a little while. But I was like, hey, we can get this drying rack in. It means you can go hunting, go and fishing, harvest it all, and then just ditch it. You can just plonk it on a drying rack, and you haven't got to think about it, you know. And it's kind of realistic for what you do in these kind of situations. Sure, there's no real mechanics for it, and it just, after a set amount of time, it just changes from being a, you know, bit of meat to being the dried meat. But it's like, that's a nice little, you know, a nice little way of ditching the having to cook everything. Sure, you take a bit of a penalty. Look at these. How cool. Little toes. That's cool. Nice. Didn't realise they were there. You know, just being able to kind of have that kind of realistic bit of thing with it. Like, it feels so gamey to be like, oh, I now need to cook everything and stuff, you know, like you'd find other methods, especially on large scale sort of things. And it's such a normal thing to like dry meat, especially in these sort of conditions. And just have this, you know, very harsh kind of jerky to gnaw on for pure protein. And quite a normal thing to do. Of this. Yeah, I think there's some interesting shit to be had in this map. It's got its own little nuclear plant as well, so if they want to throw some radiation into the mix, could happen. We'll see. I don't think though. I think the cold's enough. Yeah, it's a cool map. I really like it. So I don't know quite how we're gonna handle the infected, because they were fucking rough last time, and we were very generous with, well, generously loaded with ammo at points, but it was still like, you know, we're watching our usage. But by the end it was just kind of like blast everything in sight kind of deal. This is a really nice perimeter fence for that camp we were looking at earlier. Just kind of barbed wire and buildings and vehicles used as a barrier, which is really nice. You know, in summer you just swim around the fucking thing. Winter, like you're going through that one load entrance. But this could be a really interesting area. Like, it looks like it's a refugee camp. So I imagine it's gonna be fucking crawling with infected. But there could be some really interesting supplies. Well, there might be fuck all, you know? I think that's what's gonna be interesting with risk and reward on this one. Like, you got the risk of just traveling, you know? Let alone actually getting anything, because you don't have that guaranteed loot, you know? No spawning loot is going to be really, really tough on people, I think. I don't envy the admins having to place all that shit, mind. I think it might be better to do like a mix and just keep what's on the loot table down for future ones. Like remove certain types of items and just have those ones as manually placed. I think there might be a lot of like, I think this might be a bit frustrating for a lot of people to not like find anything. Sunny beach Chiemsee. I think you're going to see a lot of people kind of go to a town, myself included probably, and be like, there's fuck all here, you know, because you couldn't find the immersive items placed in the terrain. We'll see. But yeah, it's a really nice map. But I think we are done with our little exploration. We're about 3 hours in. Jesus, I didn't expect it to go that long. But we're going to play some Into the Dead. So let's do a BRB. I'm going to get out of this. I need the bathroom as well, so we're going to take a little break. I'm going to jump on into the Dead and we're going to finish, well not finish, we'll continue our campaign. Now tomorrow, so I don't know what time we're starting exactly. We're going to have some OSC time before. It's going to take quite a bit of time, honestly. And then we'll just